Can you say hard hats, folks? Hard hats, lunch pail, steel-toe boots, clocking out at the very last second. That's how you finish your shift, Derek White. Let's go. Let's go. We got a game 7. How do we have a game 7 after what I just watched? How are we talking about a game 7 right now, John?
Oh God, I'm like
I can't
crying.
even think. I didn't even want to go live right now because my brain isn't fully there yet. I'm still comprehending what just happened.
It's an impossible show to do because all we're gonna do is just say, "Oh my God," for like 90
All I've
minutes.
said. That's all I've said for the last.
All
10
I've said
minutes.
is, "Oh my God."
I said, "Oh my God," for like the last 20 minutes. Half of it was for the wrong reasons. Half of it was every time Duncan Robinson took a wide open 3, and then after he missed. Half of it was Marcus Smart's 3.
I want to get drunk right now. We should be drinking. Sorry,
we should be drinking. I'm actually drinking soda water. Believe it or not.
Crap. As soon as the third person jumps on, I'm getting a beer.
Yeah, it's one of those. I might need to get a beer too.
I gotta bring my nerves down.
I might need to get a beer too. Thank God I wasn't drinking all day today.
My God. I don't know where to begin. Because if I start talking, Jimmy, the bad stuff's gonna come out. Of everything I felt up until.
Give us a few minutes before you start going.
I can't, but I mean, everybody was there.
Can we just take a moment? Can we just take a moment to appreciate Derek White? Just
every single Celtics fan was in the same exact place I was. Okay.
Oh, totally.
All of us.
I mean, when Jimmy Butler hit the third free throw to go up 1, I couldn't believe the show we were about to do. I couldn't believe the show we were about to do.
I need something explained to me. If Joe doesn't challenge, does Jimmy not get 3?
I was trying to figure that out too. I have a feeling that they can review that, and they must have been. They would have reviewed that.
So
like that's again, that's like a booth ref thing. You got it. That's not a challenge thing.
God,
but Jimmy. That was a horrible challenge. Let's make it very clear. That was a horrific challenge.
I can't breathe, dude. I'm like,
Derek effing White.
You know how you get
that man a statue.
You get this certain way when you're like, you know, how you probably felt.
It was just such
after
a range
Butler's
of emotions.
Third 3, and like
you
get so angry, you're like hot in the face. Yeah. Like my face was hot.
It's still hot.
You ever see the movie Clue, the old version?
No, let's move on.
It's a boomer reference.
Yeah, let's move on from that right now.
Flames on the side of my face, heaving. I was flushed. I was so angry and upset.
This was like everything. Every worst nightmare as a Celtics fan.
I need a vacation.
Up until Derek White did that.
I can't do a game 7, Jimmy. I need a break.
You had the Butler comeback. You had the Celtics collapse, Tatum turnover on the drive, and then you had the Marcus Smart ill-advised heave way too soon off the inbounds. And then, just as it was about to be the worst ending in the history of endings in seasons, Derek White wasn't supposed to be where he was, and the Celtics weren't supposed to win the way they just did. Whatever happens tonight, none of it was supposed to happen. History was rewritten randomly tonight. The Celtics should not have won this game.
Completely rewritten. This is, and again, what I
folks, whatever you're doing, it's not supposed to happen this way right
Flip the script. Flip the script, okay? You're Miami right now.
If you're out, talk to the girl, get the drink. None of this is supposed to happen. Just be extremely happy or talk to the guy. Whatever.
Everyone's in the same spot. Let's just keep saying, "Oh my God," for 15 to 20 minutes until we can get into a little bit more analysis. I don't know. I don't, like I said, when the first words out of my mouth, Jimmy, outside of "Oh my God," are going to be what the happened in every way possible. The Celtics lost that game 12 times. The wide open Robinson threes, smoking every possession, walking the ball up the floor, unable
offensive
to hit a
rebounds,
shot, unable to giving up offensive boards, unable to secure the rebound. The last play, a Marcus fall away 3. That's what you drew up, Joe. Oh my God! And
there's no way.
Derek freaking I've always felt almost every single ATO the Celtics ran all year, there was a play and then they did something else. I don't even think we've ever seen one of Joe's ATOs because I think they've done something different than what was called in the huddle every time. Then this had to be one of those times. There's no way they gave
the play
to shoot a three going to his left, falling away. And Derek White, where in the world did he come from? I have to watch it again and again and again.
We should just put it up and just take the hit for copyright infringement.
Oh,
because I need to watch that.
I
mean, the Horford foul, another boneheaded, idiotic play. The Horford foul there on Butler to give him 3 free. They lost this game so many times.
Everything about this game screamed. It was like the exact bordering on nightmare game.
It was everything that
you could have put them away. Miami was toast. They were toast, except for hitting some threes in the first half. You could have put them away. You could have killed them, 10 times. And it just wasn't happening. And then everything was bad. What did we say? What did we say the whole series, Jimmy? Okay, when they started coming back, this is great, but they have no margin for error now. They have one horrible shooting night, and that's that, right?
That's it. Yeah, we were saying that earlier in this game.
And what happened in this game? 7 for 35 on threes. They did something they haven't done all playoffs and all season. They got smoked on the 3-point arc. Smoked. 14 out of 30 for Miami. They only made 7. To have that big a disparity on the 3-point line for this team to win is a rarity. So you can point to a lot of different things. A lot of it comes down to that. They didn't hit their shots, and then they had to win on the margins. And those little things that just weren't happening. Miami, you know how many times they turned it over, Jimmy? 5. Only 5.
Right.
Celtics didn't have a buttload, but Miami kept it clean. They weren't beating themselves. And so you just had to make those plays. And then, wouldn't you know it, 10-point lead, 4 minutes to go. Foul on Jimmy. They fouled Jimmy, get him to the line early. And this is the stuff that's been killing the Celtics, right? Getting into things slow. The other team shoots back. They get a quick shot or a quick bucket or a foul, and they score in 6 seconds. And then you take a really long time and you get a bad shot, and they come back and those leads go fast. And oh my God, like you said, the offensive rebounds and the Duncan Robinson threes, every single thing. I mean, this was a miracle in about 40 different ways. It would have been an absolutely blown loss, but you've got Duncan Robinson with 2 practice threes that would have
too much time. That's why he missed him.
He had, Duncan Robinson in practice makes 90% of those. He does not miss them. And somehow he missed those 2. I don't know somebody up there likes us, Jimmy. Okay.
Yeah. No, John. They didn't finish the job, man. You got to box out. Come on, Miami. Look at what Jimmy said. One more stop. That's all they needed to get to the NBA Finals. Now they're heading back to Boston. Man, Derek White, for him to not only get the right positioning,
I broke my helmet.
To know where that ball was going to bounce, man, it's amazing. It really does tell the story of Derek White.
I hate this team
making those plays. Yeah, but you know what?
Don't do this to me.
I know. They make it interesting, but this was the type of win I felt.
Look what they did to me.
Look, you got so fired up. Look at that. This is the kind of win that
I'm doing the rest of the show like this.
You had to flex your mental toughness. You know what I mean? Like Jimmy, when is the last time the Celtics won a game like this? It's been a while. They were really tested tonight.
When they won a game like this, this was a wild one, Josue. They almost lost a game. When's the last time they lost a game like this?
They've lost many games like
this. I know. That's what I mean. Yeah.
But how many times have they ever won a game like this? Like in the sense of when the margin error.
Never.
This was the last time. Now there's a steal by Bird underneath the DJ. Milt Palacio. That's the last time they won a game like this. Okay.
Yeah, meaningless regular season. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Milt
Palacio.
Yeah.
Derek White is the new Milt Palacio.
Yeah, but look, Butler making those 3 free throws. I mean, how many teams would really have their heart?
Remember Rondo's alley-oop?
After seeing Marcus's shot bounce off the rim the way it did. I mean, you got to give props to Derek White as well, but also to the team as a whole. I mean, look, that entire fourth quarter between Al Horford's huge block on Bam Adebayo, Derek White, huge 3-pointer down the stretch, right? 3-point play. It wasn't just guys like Tatum and Brown. I think that's what makes this win so impressive, in my opinion, because they had to stick with it, and everything was against them. from getting the penalty early, Jimmy Butler getting to the free throw line after having the worst, throughout the worst shooting performance of his entire, series that we've seen after what we saw in Boston. I mean, look, the Celtics really, he couldn't find his offense, and the fact that he was getting to the free throw line as many times as he did, like he was slowly getting that rhythm in. And John, you made a good point too, though. Duncan Robinson missing those 3-pointers, that was big as well. But the Celtics stuck with it, man. They did, and those 3 seconds, man, that's going to be something I feel like we'll be talking about for a long time. If the Celtics finish the job in Game 7, but all of the pressure is now on the Miami Heat. It's not even. I don't see any pressure on the Celtics if you ask me, because now it's you're talking about history, right? NBA history. Everyone's talking about it. Most people aren't going to give the Miami Heat the benefit of the doubt, and you're heading back to Boston. You don't have the home crowd anymore. It's really hard.
John, I need a press pass for Monday.
Like I legit want to vomit right now.
Going into this game, that some of that pressure that was on the Celtics shifted to Miami, but now it's all on them. It's all the pressures on them to close.
I don't know.
There's probably a lot of pressure on both sides. No,
the Celtics Why is the pressure on Boston? The fuck out of it. For what? Look, the Celtics, whether they win, if they lose Game 7, how many people are going to be like, oh, well, that's a bummer? Like
me.
No, I mean, but you know what I mean, guys.
They're gonna, first of all, they're gonna win.
If the Miami Heat are down by double digits in Game 7, like they're gonna feel like they lost already.
Celtics are win Game 7 by 37 points. Like we've seen the script here. Game 6 is a nail biter. Game 7, they win by 1,000 points. Okay, this is one thing we can count on. When they've gone on the road and won these Game 6s, they come in and drop the freaking hammer in Game 7. So Miami just died. Derek White just killed Miami. I'm sorry. Miami Miami was running on fumes. They had to sneak this one out.
That's what I mean. And I feel like all the pressure is on them now. All the pressure's on them now. And again, it's the fact that it's not just, we're going to build a series. Like, no, we're going to be the one team that's the first team that's ever
I'm calling it. I'm booking Denver trips. It's over.
Easy, bud. Easy. Don't jinx us here.
In 75 years, they'll be the first team to have done this. Like it's all the pressure's on Miami.
I do want to say, for what it's worth, it's a really hard thing to do. But the main reason teams don't win down 3-0 is because they suck and they were playing a much better team. Right. It's like usually the teams that go up 3-0 and sweep or win are 1 seed versus 8 seeds. A reason. They're up 3-0 for a reason. But you don't see 2s and 1s go down 3-0 very often, and that changes the dynamic a little bit because, again, the reality with the Celtics is every time they take the court against this team, they're the favorites to win every single time. They can play 100 straight games and the Celtics should win all of them. It's just how it works with them. They're the better team. They're supposed to win. So it's not surprising to win the games. It's just what we kept saying all series. They didn't give themselves any margin for error. And so this was that game. They shot like shit from 3. They made like key mistakes in critical moments. They could and should have won this game by a lot more.
Whoa!
What is up with you in that stand?
We lost them, folks.
My camera is just.
Are you slamming your table every time, or like?
John, do you need life alert?
Yep.
Oh, that's not like that.
I'm falling and I can't get up.
It's my camera.
No, you're good. You're good.
So that was it. They put themselves in a position.
He's shaking still over there. Don't forget. He's still.
I am. I'm.
He needs a beer.
I'm not well. Yeah, I'm gonna go get one.
Yeah, you should go do that.
Should I have a Japanese beer or a German beer?
Is the Japanese one? Is it Sapporo? What's it called? What's the one that's
Sapporo? No, it's Asahi. They're dry.
I don't know what that tastes like. If it was Sapporo, I'd say do that one.
They're really crisp and dry. They're really good summer beers.
Sapporo.
It sounds like that's what you want. So
yeah. I think I do. It's kind of hot.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one. Later,
okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get one too. Josue, you go
monologue it.
No, I'm not gonna leave you, Josue.
That's funny.
I'm not gonna leave you. All right, so you think
come on.
You think all the pressure's on Miami? I tend to think that now that there's more pressure on the Celtics than there ever has been, because now, I mean, it's the stakes are the same, right? Now there's just an opportunity to actually advance. So there's more on the line. I mean, it's hard to say that there isn't pressure on both sides for different reasons. Of course, Miami doesn't want to be the team to, be the first team ever to blow a 3-0 lead. But if you're the Celtics, you're still the much better team in this series. And if you don't advance past the Heat, that's still a huge disappointment. And at the end of the day, we might remember, oh, they came back from 3-0 or whatever, but it's still a loss. It's still a series loss, and it's still underachieving as far as I'm concerned. So I think that there's still a ton on the line here for the Celtics, and I want them to feel the pressure because it feels like, Josue, that they play better under pressure. We can't argue that, right? Every time that their backs are against the walls, luckily their backs are still against the walls here. So, again, there's every reason for them to come out hard Monday night in Boston. It's going to be like the loudest it's probably ever been. Man, Game 7s are scary though, right? It's like you're loud, but you're kind of tense. I was in the building for the Bruins Game 7 recently, so maybe I shouldn't go to the Celtics.
Oh, you went to that? Oh,
I might not be the best luck guy right now, so maybe I'll have to stay away. But man, this was one of those games, Josue, where you were pulling your hair out. The shots were not falling, and this is again what you're worried about with this Celtics team is when the shots aren't falling the way they should. The 3-pointers weren't tonight. Typically, these aren't games that they survive, and it looked like they were going to pull it off right into the last few minutes of that game. And then Jimmy Butler got going. And what does Jimmy Butler do? He goes into beast mode. He takes over the game. He gets to the line. He got that ridiculous 3-point shot to fall. And I think from there, he got a little bit of a swagger. And the Celtics started to play panicky and scared. Yeah. You saw Tatum make that ridiculous drive to the basket and turn it over that we've seen happen way too many times before the Butler free throws on the other end. And it just felt like everything that you know and hate about the Celtics team was coming true in the last few minutes here. And it was going to be the end of it. And this was the end of this team as we knew it. And all the way down the line, you know, is that going to come back to bite him, or people be questioning that for the rest of humanity? You know, all these things were coming up. And then the inbounds play, Marcus Smart grabs the inbounds and just turns and heaves it, I think about 3 seconds earlier than he needed to. Honestly, thank God he did, because it gave White enough time to put it back up. I mean, I need to watch the playback because I didn't even get a chance to, Josue, but it was unbelievable.
You know what was key too? When after the review, they add another second. It wasn't 3 seconds, right? I think it was like two something. That's exactly what White needed.
You're right.
It was 0.1. I've never seen, I don't know about you, but I've never seen it that close. Like as soon as he let it go, 0-0. You know what I mean? Like it was 0.1, and then what you knew just from the initial replay, it wasn't close that you weren't sure. You knew. You only had to watch that replay once to realize that, okay, he got that off in time. And yeah, it's big. But yeah, look, I just think again,
Derek White knew
there's been so much talk about what the Red Sox did in 2004. You know, no team has ever done this. And I just think that, yeah, there is some pressure on the Celtics, but I just think the majority of it's on Miami, because now the Celtics are believers. I mean, they were believers in the fact that they were constantly saying, let's just get back to Miami. Let's just get back to Miami. Like this was that game where it's like, if we win that and we got Game 7 back at home, there's not one single shred of doubt throughout, you know, players 1 through 12. You know what I mean? Like I think that's how important this game was. I mean, for obvious reasons, not only to keep their season alive, but now the Miami Heat it's the first time all series, I would say, they have more pressure to close out than the Celtics do. You know,
I'm with John. I think
the pressure's been on Boston since they lost Game 3. Really, going into Game 3, all the pressure was on Boston. That, you know, they had to win. You can't go down 3-0 or you're done. You know, and that's where the pressure has been ever since until tonight.
I just feel like if you're the Heat, your spirits have to be broken right now. Like
that's what I mean, right?
I just don't know how they come back from that. I don't know how any team would come back from that. I mean, you were 3 seconds away
Jimmy
from an unbelievable.
Told them, guys, like Butler told them, hey, one more stop, 3 seconds, and we get to the NBA Finals.
The Celtics have
and nobody boxed out.
No, but Josue, I could have told
nobody boxed out Derek White.
Celtics have all the momentum now going into Game 1 at home. They have. I haven't even gotten a chance to look at the line. Are we a FanDuel show tonight, John?
We are. It's 8.5.
We're FanDuel. Okay. We're FanDuel Network. Come on, G.
Yeah, we're FanDuel Network. I just want to make sure I don't want to say the wrong thing. Yeah. But Celtics are 8.5-point favorites in Game 7.
Yep.
So there you have it. I'm showing 8 here on FanDuel. So
okay.
So now's a good time to toss that bet in there. Only 8. Maybe it was 8.
Well, even before Game 6, didn't FanDuel still have the Celtics as favorites to it?
Game 6, the Celtics were -3. I want to say, yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Okay. Yeah. So, Everything's changing here. Everything is changing. So
I don't know what
we've just did raw reaction for 20 minutes. I think we've done our raw reaction that we needed to.
Well, I was just gonna say, John, take me.
Great, I'm gonna spend the rest of the time killing them.
Yeah, we haven't actually done any analysis yet.
Take me through Jimmy going to the line, Jimmy Butler going to the line for three free throws. Where you're like, this thing is done. There's no way.
I still don't know. I still don't know what happened. I really don't. Like, I don't know. Like, if Joe doesn't challenge, did Joe like tip them off? Did he like rat on himself? Do they?
Well, when they said it was a 2, you mean?
Yeah. Or? Do they get the 3 if he doesn't say it? I don't even know.
That's what I was saying. I was like, why did he? Because
I don't know. Pardon my ignorance, but I don't think any of us know.
I do. I think they can review it. Yeah, they can review the spot of the foul. Yeah.
Oh, whether you don't need a 3 or not. Okay.
Yeah, you don't need a challenge for that. So whether or not they would have, I don't know. I imagine they would have in that situation like that. So whatever. But Al Horford cannot be fouling him.
I don't understand the time. I mean, you know what Miami's going to be flipping out over right now? I don't understand how they got to. I don't know how they got to 3 seconds.
Yeah, I was just telling Jimmy.
I have no idea how they got there.
Because they got that extra, right? Because without that, Derek doesn't get that.
I have no idea how they got there.
Well, John, it's simple. That's when the foul occurred. So when they challenged it, they were able to
I guess I didn't even look like Jimmy had gone for a shooting motion at 3 seconds. I don't, I have no idea how it got
I got to watch
3.
it back, but
yeah.
If anything, if that challenge added, a second to it, then I guess it was a good challenge. Even though it didn't get the result they probably wanted, but it still ended up being the difference in the game. Just an unbelievable all-time ending to this game. That's become a unbelievable series, really. Back and forth between the teams tonight, and here we are with the Game 7.
It's a classic.
Yeah, I mean, not your typical Game 7, that's for sure. Not the way it usually comes about. But happy to be talking about it. I mean, I honestly thought this was going to be like one of the more painful shows in this channel's history, but not today.
Not today.
Not this weekend. Not on Memorial Day.
As Herb Brooks would say, not tonight.
Not tonight.
But not Memorial Day, tonight.
Not Memorial Day weekend.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh,
should we air the grievances?
I can't yet.
I'm running out of good things to say. Other than the last 0.1, I'm not really sure.
This is such a crazy day too for me, man. I'm at my parents' house, and man, it's just crazy. My mom's a huge fan. Well, both my parents are huge fans, but my mom, she's doing much better now. But she was in the hospital, and I was like, Mom, they gotta win for you, man. They gotta win for tonight. And then because of the show and everything, at halftime I had to leave. I said, don't worry, they'll be all right. And I know she's so happy right now.
Win it for Mama Pavon.
They 100% did it for Mama Pavon.
Love you, 100%. Mama. Yeah, they did. The vibes were there for sure. So I'm happy for her. Love you, Mom. See you tomorrow. But yes, go Celtics, man. I'm happy. I'm happy that the series is gonna keep going. Game 7 in Boston doesn't get much better than that, man. Game 7, Celtics, Heat, Eastern Conference Final, Game 7. Should be a classic.
Crazy.
I'm looking at.
I don't know, John. You're saying you saying blowout or loss? Is that what you're saying?
What? Are you saying Celtics are gonna win by 100 points?
Okay. All right.
Yeah. I don't know how they couldn't. I mean,
I think if they get out to a double-digit lead,
or
or even up to like 14 points, something like that, and I don't think the Heat have the heart for it. Honestly, it's just too much. It's too much. This is a humongous blow, obviously, and to be down that much in Game 7 on the road, I think could do it. Could be enough.
What went into the Heat being so bad in the paint? Like historically bad under what's his name? Spoelstra. Like they couldn't score. Was that give all the credit to the bigs and Rob and everybody playing just defending? White. I know White had a great.
Well, I feel like throughout that,
but they could not hit anything in the paint.
Yeah, no, I know, because I feel like throughout the third quarter, Jimmy Butler's up fake just was finally not working, and no one was biting. And I'm like, oh, how are they gonna find offense here? But then Celtics got into the penalty right away in that fourth quarter, and that was huge. He was going to the free throw line over and over again. Duncan Robinson's getting those open looks, nailing them. The Celtics built that 7-point lead, and all of a sudden it was gone going into the final minute. So, and I'm with you, John. I don't like the Celtics' chances in those situations. They just historically, it's like they turn into a 500 team, regardless if they're up by 2 or down by 2, tie game. Like, it's just how they've been, and look at the way they've been throughout the postseason, right? They usually have that steady lead, towards the end in that final minute when they pull out these victories, but not tonight. Not tonight. This one came down to the wire, and it was Derek White with the big play at the end. I just sent you, John. I don't know if you got it. His dad.
I see it.
His dad tweeted something out. Yeah, I love that.
Derek White's
his dad
tweeted,
who
"OMG, that's my boy."
His dad, who watches the Garden Report.
He could be watching right now. Right? Shout out Richard White, Mr. White.
Mr. White.
Shout out to your son, who is allowing us to have a fun show tonight.
Yes, your son just extended the season.
Just banana land. I'm trying to get something from Joe up here. You guys keep going. I'll try to get.
Oh, that should be good. That should be a must watch.
I bet you he says, well, White made a good play or something like that. Something like that's not like over the top. Like,
I don't know.
Can you imagine if that didn't go though? What would be the
We're not gonna imagine it, Josue.
Come on, let's do
it. We don't have to.
You guys would be ripping Marcus Smart apart right now. Or would it be
no, I wouldn't have understood anything about that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't understand the shot.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I figured you guys would be like, get the ball to Tatum no matter what, or come up with a better play or something like that. But
no, I think they just ran like they always do. They just did whatever. Like they just ran the other play.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like on the inbounds, Tatum
have Al on that switch. That would be my complaint.
It looked like Brown never made much of an effort to get open. Tatum jetted out to like half court, and there's not enough time to really do anything when you're out that way. There weren't that many other options. So, it went to Smart. I don't know if I got to watch it back, but if Smart had the chance to pass it back, I don't know. But he just turned and hucked it up there. But whatever. I mean, good on Derek White for crashing the boards. I mean, they teach you that day one, right? Crash the board in a situation like that. Ball is live, and to have the coordination to not just grab the rebound, but in one fell swoop to be able to put it back up, knowing that it's down to milliseconds practically at that point, and just, man, that guy. We've said it this year. He's been their third best player, all year. I mean, anyone who's watched the Celtics knows Derek White's been their third best player this year. He's been consistent. He had a great first series, a little bit of a disappearing act against Philly, and then in the start of this Heat series, I didn't think he had a great start either. But he's really come on of late the last few games, and obviously tonight he had a couple big shots late, and then the putback there. That's going to be in the Celtics highlight reels, forever, really. Probably regardless of how the series ends. I mean, when you talk about just great all-time endings to games, and especially in franchise history, of course that's going to be one of them. So, got to give a shout out to D-White for that. And again, all the momentum's on Boston's side. If you're Miami, you just got to feel dejected right now. I don't know if we're going to have. I imagine we'll have some. Could have some video from Miami side. We'll get some. We got Bobby and Amit down there, and is Sherrod down there too? I'm not sure.
No, just Bobby today.
Oh, just Bobby. One man band in it.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah. Then he's all over the map, I'm sure. But I mean, just still kind of processing the whole thing. Still kind of speechless here.
I mean, it's interesting because you're going to have to take a step back and like put it into the pantheon of like moments, but like we're probably underselling it at this point. Like you go on and win a title. This is your, everyone talks about like the Dave Roberts moment. It's way bigger than that. Like it's life or death. This is friggin' Malcolm Butler on the goal line. It's
totally.
It's the difference between
this is that.
It's winning.
Yeah, that was better.
It's winning and losing. Granted, but Malcolm's on the
well, if this was a game
Malcolm's
7,
at the Super Bowl, and so it's not going to be there because it's game 6. You still have to win game 7, and then who knows what happens next. But along the way, that's the moment. Like you never know what happens next. The Fisk homer in '75, with a famous thing. is still great, but it didn't amount to anything. But that would have been, if they go on to win that World Series, the moment. Let's call it the Fisk homer, but they end up winning. I mean, it'll be huge, huge, huge. This Derek White thing will be a top 5, again, depending on how the season ends, a top 5 Boston sports play of all time. Like,
yeah, I would. Yeah,
you know, it's going to be that high. And like, it's hard to rank it because it's still fluttering through your head. I'll say this. At the time, for Malcolm Butler, I will say this. Everybody was so fixated on why didn't Marshawn Lynch run the ball. And I was so mad at everyone. I'm like, guys, this was the greatest play in championship sports history. And we're talking about the wrong thing. We're sitting here chastising Pete Carroll's decision not to run. We just witnessed the greatest swing a game in history. I mean, a lot of people were. Jimmy, you were there with me, but I felt like the whole buzz there. We were at that Super Bowl together. But I digress.
No big deal.
As far as this is concerned, it will absolutely go down there in history of Boston sports as one of those plays. Incredible.
Yeah, I think you're right. Again, I think we need to see how it plays out. Certainly, if they advance into the finals, it's going to take on that much more meaning. But it's kind of funny. The Red Sox have their own like every game kind of. There was something there, and it feels like now the Celtics are, it started out as almost like I was so annoyed by the storyline.
It's a steal by Bird.
Right.
Yeah. Sherrod, we have not given 5 seconds of meaningful analysis yet. We've just been saying, oh my God, for 30 minutes. So if you have anything meaningful to say, by all means, go ahead.
Oh my God, fellas. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Listen, this was, I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and I've seen some weird and wacky endings, but nothing quite like this. Particularly when you look at the way they won the game, how they basically pulled what we've seen time and time again, collapse in the fourth quarter. And not only did they win the game in just a very non-traditional fashion, the 2 key players in getting a win were not named Jason Tatum. We're not named Jaylen Brown. It was freaking Marcus Smart taking a potential game winner and Derek White with the tip in. Mm-hmm. If you were to project who would be the 2 guys who would be the last 2 hands to touch the game winning shot, those guys probably wouldn't be at the top or middle of your list.
Yeah.
First of all, give the Celtics a lot of credit. I mean, they had every reason to just throw in the towel when Jimmy Butler got the 3-point shot off and got the free throws. It was about as bad as it could possibly get. Their season pretty much was over in the eyes of many, and they just buckled up and said, "We got one bullet left in the chamber. Let's make it count." Give them a lot of credit for gutting this one out. And if you're Miami, I just don't know how you can mentally recalibrate yourself to go back and play these guys in Boston. I don't. I think it's one of those. I think the Celtics, if they lay the hammer down early, Miami will fold. I think
that's what I've been saying too, Sherrod.
Oh yeah. Pressure's on them, right?
If you're Miami, you don't even get on the flight. You just say, you know what, that's it.
This is
our best tonight.
Listen, they snatched their soul before our very eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And Miami is one of the most mentally tough teams that you will see. But there's absolutely no doubt their soul was snatched tonight. And the Celtics, again, if you're going to allow Caleb Martin to go off, you got to shut down Jimmy Butler. And they did that for most of the game. Jimmy Butler, most of his points came from the free throw line. He's 5 for 21. Bam was 4 for 16. They took away their main hubs. And Miami never could figure out a way to slow Tatum. Tatum, I thought this was one of his best games ever. I think if we went down like the top 5, Jimmy, he was in freaking control the entire first half.
What about the second half?
I'm talking about well, Jaylen Brown kind of got it going a little bit in the second half, and some other guys kind of got it going a little bit in the second half. Was it the greatest finish in the world for Tatum? Absolutely not, but he positioned them to win this game.
Jaylen Brown broke my brain tonight, officially, forever.
The foul trouble really bothered him a lot. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, he was down on himself for sure.
Jaylen broke my brain. Like I don't even know what to.
It's broken.
Well, you're talking about that Duncan one?
No, everything about his game tonight was so perplexing to me.
Man, if Duncan made that 3, that would have changed.
No, with everything. I mean, just
he was a mile away from that dude.
His entire being tonight.
But the Celtics as a team had I'd say 7 or 8 possessions where a legitimate 3-point shooter had no one even trying to guard him.
Remotely close, right?
I mean, not even close. And I mean, Duncan Robinson, arguably the best shooter on the floor, missed not one, but two. Those are the best looks he had all game.
Yeah.
And he missed. Yeah. I mean, he's going to – I mean, look, they might want to just do like a welfare check on him tonight and tomorrow, because you miss those kind of shots, you're not going to sleep well at night, particularly if you made one of those, you're probably going to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, especially the one that was like early in the shot clock, because he had a good look, but I was
had a great look.
Dude, the Celtics lost this game 1,000 times, like down the stretch there. I cannot fathom what just happened there. I really can't.
Sherrod, John said that someone's looking down on the Celtics. That someone blessed them from above.
Listen,
you think that was it?
If you ever believe there was such a thing as like the basketball gods, this game is going to be like your proof positive of that. Because the Celtics
then, I guess.
Well, the Celtics did so many things that were so uncharacteristic of how they've been playing most of the game.
Oh,
Joe's on the panel.
Let's go to Joe.
Joe,
by the way, had a great game.
Hi, Joe.
What's up, Joe?
Hey,
Hold
Joe.
on, we're gonna try. We're gonna roll.
Like, John, I know you're always talking shit, so I had to come on.
Muted.
Can we get some sound?
Volume was all the way up on Joe. I don't know why that's not talking. So I'll work that back and see.
I'll blame it on Joe Sway.
Yeah.
Word.
Totally.
No, he.
John, can you lip read? Can you just tell us what he's saying?
Joe had a great game. Used his timeouts for the most part wisely.
Yeah, for the most part. I was gonna say towards the end, I was like,
for the most part, like he. This was a BB plus game for Joe, I think, overall. And he's had some C's. In this series, but this was definitely a B plus ish game for him, and they needed it. I mean, when Spoelstra went with Caleb Martin in the starting lineup, I thought that the Celtics didn't really adjust to that as well as they should have. And also, Joe almost got burnt by the double big lineup. When Rob was at the free throw line and they were up, I think 7, and they brought Al back in, Miami went on this little mini spurt that I'm thinking that double big is just not going to work. And then he brought Grant in to take Rob's place or Al's place, and that didn't do much better either. But the Celtics, there's so many things that went their way for the most part, and they almost crapped it all the way at the end there. But they found a way to get it done.
Speaking of almost crapping it away, here's Jaylen Brown talking about stuff here. Hold on.
And then can you take us through just kind of the shift?
The energy shifted, Jaylen. Tell him.
As White then followed that up.
In all honesty, at that point, I'm in full prayer mode. Like, whatever prayer I got, whatever dua I got, reciting it over and over in my head. And, I knew our season was on the brink. And I'm just grateful to God that, we was able to get the win.
That's about right.
That's how we all feel, right?
Marcus Smart shooting a fall-away 3, going to his left, first of all,
season on the line.
Here's the funny thing is, he absolutely
does not. It was a great look.
Look, it almost went down. He absolutely did not need to shoot that fast. He shot a shot with 1 second on the clock, not 3. He just caught it and shot as if he only had a second. Thank God he did that, because if he doesn't, there's no time for the rebound.
And I think that was why, John. I think that's why he put it up quick, because he knew if I don't make the shot, at least
if he
we'll
did,
have
he's a freaking genius, seriously. Because if that went through his thinking, or Joe said we're gonna catch, shoot, and crash,
right?
Different story, But oh my God, amazing.
I don't know. I don't know.
Had no one near him. He got to that ball in the quickness, but and also, you know what? That extra balance is kind of went in and out. That helped White as well. Fingers fell in his lap.
And heads up to Derek White for just time shot clock awareness.
Right.
I mean, he could not have timed it better than that.
And Tim is telling us the Derek White buzzer beater, our producer, is the second go-ahead bucket by a team facing elimination in NBA history.
Yeah.
Wow!
Outside of Jordan's The Shot on ELO.
So now we're gonna put Derek White in the same category as Jordan. Ain't that some?
I already had him there. Now I think
okay.
Now he inches
slightly
just
better.
ahead.
So is it? It's no. LeBron moves to 3 now.
Yeah, LeBron is 3.
Okay.
D White officially won. Scottie Pippen told me so. So you know, Jordan's not that good.
Why is he still talking? Oh man, never mind.
Why? First of all, I just want to work. I want to be his producer and just get him a better shot than what he's got. Like on his bed in the dark, like 20 feet away. Like, buddy, get up to the screen, man. You know, he's sitting in a hotel on the bed, and his laptop is on the friggin' across the room.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Wouldn't fly on our show, that's for sure.
It's like if you're gonna say something like that, come on, clear it up a little bit.
At least get up there. Just put a phone in your face, dude.
John said, "Put some bass in your voice.
Put some bass. You're gonna talk like that. Put some bass in your voice.
Put some bass in your voice."
That was the best. Speaking of stealing people's souls, hats off to Perk for that.
Ever since the last dance, man, you just can't stop just throwing shade at Jordan one way or another, man. It's just like, yo, give it a rest, man.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. I'm gonna try Joe one more time. You guys want to hear Joe?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, let's hear Joe.
I'm gonna try to actually hear Joe here.
Right.
Oh, it's not load, dude. I'm having the Joe video does not want to load.
We need a transcription.
There we go. I'm gonna try it now. Try it now.
We just have to understand why we're still alive, and the mindset doesn't shift, and so you just can't relax.
What'd you draw up there on that final play, and how heady a play was that with Derek to see that opening and cut to the rim to go for that offensive rebound?
Yeah, really just tried to get it to a spot where we can take 1 or 2 dribbles and get a shot, and they did a good job of denying with the inbounder, which is always a hard read. But at the end of the games like that, you know, our guys talk about just crashing at the end of the game, giving it a chance, and D. White made a great play. Smart made a great play, getting open to get a shot off, and, you know, D. White made a great play.
Joe, what went through your mind? Did you know it was good?
I had no idea. No.
What went through your mind when it was?
Nothing, Abby.
I hope it's
Game 7.
Nothing went through my mind. I was panicked. I thought I was going to be fired.
I blacked out.
I totally blacked
out.
What
was going through my mind? Updating my resume was going through my mind.
I can't believe I'm still the coach. Please stop asking me. I want to get out of here.
Try to remember my LinkedIn password.
Oh, Jimmy, you're horrible. You're horrible. Give Joe his props. Joe, this was a good game for Joe.
I am giving him his props. Yeah. All I'm saying is,
I'm talking about Jimmy.
No, I am too. But that's probably what was going through his mind.
I started the line of joking. I'm with Jimmy there, but I think Joe saw his whole career flash before his eyes when that thing went in.
Yeah, I think
I think Snowball's a good call here, by the way.
I think it is too. That's a great call, Snowball.
That's a great call.
Which is an all-time game moment.
And I think this is a great call because we love you.
Oh, thanks, Doc.
Thanks, Doc.
I'm also told Jason Tatum, the actual Jason Tatum who watches the show, dropped a 50 super chat that somehow snuck by us, and I didn't get a chance to put it up there.
Oh, shit.
So, Jason, if you've got a comment you want to throw up there, please do. I apologize we missed that. So
give him buddy. 2. You get 2 comments tonight.
You get 2. You get 2. Jason Tatum gets as many comments as he wants tonight. He does. Also,
even though he jammed in traffic at the end of the game and turned it over, that's okay.
FanDuel's going to get a say in this as well, and I think it's 8.
What's the early line for Game 7? You know,
8.
Damn.
Yeah, that's what I said.
8. You're hammering the C's. John thinks the Celtics are going to win by 38.
I usually don't feel comfortable with those big lines, but this is different. Miami's in a really, 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 really bad place right now. Just mentally. I mean, this is without question the most mentally fried that team has been all season long. And again, they're still one of the
F word, but yeah, you're spot on.
Well, that was I want to clean it up for the kids at home, man.
I can't believe Jimmy Butler's a fraud. After all, we had to sit
that's another F word.
Goo gaga about
another
Jimmy
F word. What's another F word, Jimmy?
Jimmy, you think he's a fraud?
Jimmy, another
one more F word. John, I don't like this game.
I want to go that far.
Come on.
Fans.
FanDuel.
FanDuel. Okay.
So once again, let all you guys know at home.
Jimmy's like, we're still doing this? I thought you did the read already.
No,
yeah, we're going back to it.
Jimmy hijacked it. He started talking about stacking beef organs, and I had to move back to it.
He's like,
I'm stacking bets. I'm gonna do a stack a parlay on FanDuel now.
All right, silence. We lose about 150 people every time I do one of these. The longer you guys talk.
Okay, go.
Oh yeah, my bad.
Sign up at FanDuel, okay? 8.5. Celtics are going to win by 100. So get the bets in now before this spread goes. Ah!
Yes, I'm so glad that happened. Life alert.
I think the basketball gods are messing with
wheelchair.
me, man.
Oh, John fell out of his wheelchair.
How has this happened 4 times already? Whoa.
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
I'm pretty cool.
Yeah, how'd you get back?
I went back to the computer. Okay, boomers. I went back to the computer cam.
Oh, he didn't even grab the other camera.
I was gonna say you have another camera. That's what it was.
This guy's got so many He's got camera at every angle over there. He's got cameras ready just in case he drops them.
Go to FanDuel.com/Boston and take advantage of it. Look, if I'm wrong and they don't win by 100, which they will, you get a no sweat first bet up to 1,000 back in bonus bets. Sign up now. Again, NBA, the official partner of, FanDuel, the official partner of the NBA playoffs and the CLNS Media Network. So go check that out. FanDuel.com/Boston. Yeah. What?
You're making me nervous.
Why?
I don't know. Just sit there. Just sit.
No. Jimmy, they can't see me.
No, we did. We saw the beginning of that. We all saw it.
You saw nothing.
Look at all those shows. Look at that lineup at the bottom. I love it.
All right. Are we supposed to read this? 21 plus in select states.
No, you're good. You're good. But the Celtics open up as 8.5-point favorites. The good camera's back. We're back.
Yeah, just keep it where it's
John's out of breath.
John has been out of breath for the last 45 minutes.
All right, yeah, I'll throw up a buck. Thank you.
Yeah, we'll toss it. Yeah, we'll give it to John. He needs a mount for his camera.
You missed the 50. It's not that. I just don't think.
Not yet. 1, 2, 3 Cancun.
I think I don't have it mounted correctly.
For
the heat, guys. Try to keep up.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Okay.
Well, wasn't it was it Charles? I think it was Charles and Shaq, or not even. No, I think it was Kenny.
Judah stays hating.
They were getting ready.
I thought that was Jason Tatum.
After Game 5.
No.
Judah, stay true, buddy. Don't ever change.
Don't ever change.
Don't ever change.
We're saying good things for.
Yeah. Don't ever change, buddy. And everybody out there loves 10-point leads blown and Duncan Robinson open threes. That's what we're here for, you know. That's what we live for. This. Anyway, makes it all the better story, makes it more fun in the end. Atlanta is rooting for us. That's great. Wow. You know, we acquired a lot of Toronto back in the day. We'll take some Atlanta fans if you guys want to hang out with us.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Like, no one's really cheering for the Heat.
No. Come on. I mean, yes, they are if you
maybe
hate
in
this.
Miami.
They are if you hate the Celtics, which many people do.
Yeah.
I feel like the only people who really hate the Celtics are actual Celtics fans because they've made us hate them. I don't think they're very hateable outside of Boston, to be
well,
honest.
You know, they've been there a bunch of times. There is a little bit of kind of Boston entitled bullshit. You know, we've won a lot over the years. You know, no one wants to see another Boston championship.
They hate us because they ain't us.
They hate us because they ain't us, kid. Speaking of which, let's see how well Spoelstra handled the loss after the game here. Yep, here's Spo.
It's just a shame, you know. But look, this is the way this season's been. This is a one hell of a series. At this time right now, I don't know how we're going to get this done, but we're going to go up there and get it done.
Wow.
And that's what the next 48 hours is about. There's been nothing easy about this season for our group, and so we just have to do it the hard way. And that's just the way it's got to be, you know, for our group. And we wish we could tip this thing off right now. Right now, we want to tip this thing off. And let's play another 48 minutes, but we'll wait 48 hours and do this thing in Boston.
No, you don't. No, you don't. You're
It sounds good to say that in your head. It sounds really good.
No, you don't.
You don't believe that.
Who's the head coach of the that hockey series that just finished up with the guy who's like, we didn't get swept. We didn't get swept. I watched the game. We did not get swept. Like, I feel like Spoelstra is almost speechless right now. Just befuddled and so disappointed in how that game ended. They were all tasting the NBA Finals after that Butler.
The game played out exactly how they wanted. Just keep it close, and let Jimmy carry you down the stretch. And I mean, it worked to near perfection, except that Marcus Smart and Derek White.
But you know what, Sherrod?
Gosh, I still can't get over those are the two guys.
I mean,
you know what though?
Can you believe we would be? Go ahead, Jimmy. What?
No, I was gonna say this is a game the Heat. This was the game they had their chance to win. Like the Celtics shot terribly in this game from 3. The Heat had every opportunity to go on a run of their own. Duncan Robinson missed 2 wide open threes in the fourth quarter. They had their chance, and this was their game to win, and they blew it. And I just don't see that opportunity happening for them again. I think they have to know it.
It's unusual for a team to lose a game where they have as many field goal attempts more than the opponent. Like they had like 16, 17 more shots than Boston.
Second chance opportunities. Yeah.
And so they're absolutely, when they watch this, they're going to be sick to their stomachs.
Big Kess. Yeah. What's up, Kess?
Oh, man.
Fire Brad, Kess.
He's pumped, man.
Get him out of here. Fire him. We haven't even begun to talk about the abject stupidity of the Horford foul.
I mentioned
there as well. And like, what a big story that would be. One of your most reliable guys. Just you're 7 feet. You're 5 inches taller than the dude. Just stand straight up and make him make the money shot. Like, I mean, what are we doing here? He's a grifter.
How do you even end up on him?
The switch. I mean, they find a way
gave
to
up
make
the
that
switch,
happen.
but like you want to shoot a 3, a crappy 3-point shooter from the corner over a 7-footer. Great, go for it. Off balance, fine. Just don't friggin' hit him, man.
Yeah.
But,
hey,
I mean,
can you
again,
believe
amazing.
it? Heat fans are actually still alive after. I thought Derek White killed every Heat fan in existence tonight. Look at this guy.
We have one.
Yeah, we got one right here. The Memorial Day Massacre. Miami's going to destroy the Celtics at the Garden. Ha ha ha.
First of all,
my friend, is the mark of a person in denial.
First of all, there is a Memorial Day Massacre, and it's the Celtics beating the Lakers 148 to 114 in 1985 in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. So that name is taken. You're going to have to come up with something catchy using Miami or something, but it's not going to be that.
I've never heard of that. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they lost Game 2 at home, and it changed the finals, but they drilled them. That was Wedman's 11 for 11 game, where he shot perfectly, or 8 for 8, 11 for 11, I think. 8 for 8.
What year was this?
1985, Game 1 of the NBA Finals,
Gotcha.
which the Celtics lost, but they did win that one.
They won the championship, right?
Can't say I was on this earth at that point. I know you were what? Were you
I was 30. I was
celebrating your 40th somewhere?
I was 30 years old.
I just got that.
I was a 30-year-old fourth grader.
Yeah.
Spewing hot takes about the Celtics.
I was spewing hot takes. I loved it.
Yeah, your parents must have hated you. Did you ever shut up as a kid?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you didn't.
Yeah, I don't think so. I didn't always know this little. I was probably smarter then.
Yeah, definitely.
Even less of a reason to talk now. So, I mean,
I want to see what Jimmy Butler says, man, after that guarantee.
I am very interested. I hope Bobby gets that. I don't know if he's what he's up to.
Either way, we'll get it. CLNS.
I would like to get some Butler. I will get some Derek White up there in a minute, and we can hear from the hero.
Here we go, John. We're not going to miss this one from our guy Tatum. Another $20. Look at that. Don't blame me for almost blowing it. See that, Sherrod?
Ooh.
You didn't score a lot, though.
He didn't score in he never scored. And then
6 points. 6 points in the second.
And then he dribbled into 3 Heat players and turned it over.
Yeah, you didn't score a lot, but
I loved seeing him go 11 for 11 from the free throw line, right? In the first half. That was big. Tatum could do that every night. Never mind just one half.
I love that he did it. I don't like when he does it falling away. I want to see him go straight up on it. He did have some really off balance shot attempts late there when they kind of did what they do, which is I mean, how much time would we have spent on walking the ball up and not getting into their actions and not running any sort of play until there's 12 seconds left, particularly against the zone. And then all of a sudden you're stuck with the guy with the ball in his hands and they have to force a shot. And the Celtics did that over and over again. So now they got an offensive rebound from Tatum, and that was great. And then they got
Bobby?
Where?
With the super chat, $10.
Bobby Manning?
Because he actually went to school with my son.
Oh, that's
little known fact.
Oh, really? I didn't know that actually. But no, this is somebody different that went to school with your son.
Let's hear.
Thank you. Is it Chanel? Maybe Chanel? Channel? I don't know.
It's Channel, bro.
Channel. I don't know.
Homeschooling. Let you down again.
Chanel. Channel. All right. They named their kid Channel. My bad.
How many more credits do you need before your mom gives you a diploma?
The limit does not exist.
My God.
He's like Chanel.
Let's get Derek White's take on things. Hold on.
Thought it was a chick.
Vincent was on me, and he kind of was up top denying JT, so I couldn't get hit the ball. And I did a good job of denying JB too, and Smart Flash hit him, and there really was nobody on me. So I just spaced to the corner, and then when he shot it, just tried to crash. Ball came to me, I made a shot, so that's what I saw.
Did you know it was good when you put it back?
It felt good. Everybody's asking me, like, did you get it off? And I was like, yeah, I think so. But, I mean, it was so close, you never know.
Derek, what was that string of emotions like for you and the team after that situation? You guys were up 10 with 4 minutes left there. It looked like it was slipping away, like, for you individually and just to save the season on that front. What did that feel like?
We're just happy we won. However we got to get it done, we got it done. Now it's on to Game 7.
He's so relieved.
Yeah, did you know it was good? He's like,
no.
I don't even know where I am.
I think it was good. It felt
good. Everybody was asking all the teammates. He's just like, I hope so. I don't know.
I thought it was. I thought real time.
I thought it was too.
I felt really good about it.
I felt really good about it. Yeah. I felt good going into that replay. I was like, I think he got that.
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what, Derek White is just so like cool, calm, and collected. I mean, the dude just made the shot of his life, and like he's just whatever. Even like in the post game, even like at the walk-off TV interview, like right after, like he was just like, yeah, like happy to get the win.
Yeah, but that I mean, that's just
that's right.
Let's go. What y'all?
Let's go. I knew it was in.
Now.
I knew it was
what
in.
y'all gotta say now, bees? What y'all gotta say?
Yeah. You better box me out next time.
Yeah, I've done that once. I've done it once, honestly. And to be honest, it was like one of the worst like shooting performances of mine. But it was one of those things where like everyone's going nuts and everything. And you're kind of just like,
what's this, and like, you just 5th grade CYO.
It's like a delayed. No, shut up. High school, bro.
What grade are we in here?
It's like a delayed. And you're kind of just like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, you kind of just let it out after you see everyone else doing it, and they're looking at you like you ain't got no reaction. You just kind of let one out. But at first, you're almost in shock because you're just like, everything happens so fast.
I think he's in shock.
Everything happens so fast, and especially Derek White, man. He's not gonna be jumping up and down, screaming. He's just taking it all in.
Oh my God.
Even not to continue to compare that, but you're talking about Malcolm Butler earlier. I mean, he was in shock at the interception. Like he was just his teammates were all over him.
He was crying the whole time.
He was just like, what's happening?
What the like the whole.
It's like exactly like you're looking for confirmation. Like, wait, are we good?
They're like, Malcolm is
like, then once it hits you, you're just like, yeah, all right. It's such a delay.
Butler was like, why didn't they run it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Speaking of Mr. Guarantee, let's hear from Jimmy Butler.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Jimmy. What was his final line?
At fraud.
24 points, 5 for 21 shooting.
5 for 21.
I'll put it up there while Jimmy talks. Here you
5 for 20.
Jimmy, you're all about kind of staying even keel through the ups and the downs. How do you, as a leader, kind of try to keep this team mentally in it after a loss like this?
Let them know that as good or as bad as we played tonight, we still lost. So we still got a job to do at the end of the day. And we will be in this thing together, home, away, on the road. And if, like I told the guys on the bench, I told the guys in the locker room that if I play better, we're not even in this position, honestly speaking. And I will be better, and that's what makes me smile, because those guys follow my lead. So when I'm playing better, I think we're playing better as a whole.
Holy shit, he was a minus 24?
Minus 24.
That is so bad. And he was getting it. The broadcast team tonight was giving it to him up until the last few minutes when he started turning on. But that is horrific. Minus 24 in the biggest game of your life. He's right. If you did play better, they wouldn't be in this position.
But Jimmy, when you start playing that game, if Tatum played better earlier, they wouldn't be in this position.
Right.
We've said that too.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's bullshit. When you bottom line is you didn't. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what happened. You didn't, and it wasn't like you were in an empty gym and there weren't like 4 or 5 other guys out there who were trying to make you play bad and succeeded. So the whole, if I played better, we wouldn't be in this position. You're right. And what's your point?
Well, I think he's just trying to take, he's trying to take some blame and responsibility
for what it's worth.
Leadership type stuff, I guess.
Going back to that Derek White game winner. That when in the Derek White sound that we heard from earlier, I did want to talk about this because I have in a couple of the breaks watched it back a couple of times, and White just alluded to it when he says Marcus had the ball and something, and I was
watch it.
No one was on me or whatever he said there. No one was on him, and Marcus could have passed back to a wide open corner three where White was standing.
Yeah.
Wide open. He did slip through. The attention went to Marcus, and he could have. But, I mean, incredible awareness for White to be like, not getting it, I'm going there. From that quickly to flashing to busting his ass under the basket. Because, again, when Marcus is shooting, White's at the three-point line like, I'm open, and then took off. It just incredible. Really incredible.
Yeah.
So I watched it back a couple of times. It's really amazing.
It's so hard to judge what's the right play in that, or what's the right decision to make, because if Marcus passes to Derek and Derek is thinking he's going to shoot, it's probably going to be a turnover. And to me, they were both thinking the same thing. Like Marcus was thinking, I'm going to shoot this shot with 1 or 2 dribbles, and Derek is thinking, I need to crash the glass because he damn sure ain't going to pass me the rock right now. So
yeah.
You're right, though, John. I mean, he could have absolutely passed him, but Derek,
things happen fast. I'm not blaming him there.
Right.
And he was. Oh, you see it again. He's open.
Yeah, ridiculously open. Yeah.
So he was there, but it happened so fast, but as soon as Marcus goes to shoot, he just busts it right to the basket. And my God, nobody picked him up because nobody had an eye on him where he was. He was completely lost and forgotten. So just incredible that he was able to do what he did.
Yeah, definitely. But also, if you're a Heat fan, how mad are you at Jimmy Butler? I mean, he's the guy who, if you ask me, not only do you turn to, but he found a way to score without making any field goals. And obviously the biggest ones were those 3 free throws you make at the end of the game, and you have 3 seconds to close out. I mean, that's the last guy I'm pointing the finger at. As a reason why this guy's lost, especially because of the way this team is built, the makeup of this team in the fourth quarter when the stage is set the way it was. That's his time to cook, and that's just who they are, especially in these moments, with a chance to go to the NBA Finals. Then you got some huge buckets from guys like Duncan Robinson and, Gabe Vincent, who played a good game as well. I mean, those guys were killing the Celtics.
3 for 17.
Oh, and Martin
Smart's shot almost went in, by the way.
Martin
oh, my God, yeah, it was down.
It was like halfway.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. That extra bounce, though, like – I'm not gonna say that,
served it up nice.
He meant to do that, but exactly.
If he clanks it and that goes off long, nobody's gonna be able to put that back. The fact that it rattled in and out and came off soft is the reason why White's able to clean that up. So I mean, you're really lucky.
There's no chance for a second chance points.
No chance. Though I feel like Rob was on the other side there, but Butler again. How bad was it? It's you see the numbers there. But you do the math on it, 3 for 17 for 2-point field goals where he cooks, that's his bread and butter. Just incredible, Bobby Manning's going to be joining us in a little bit, and we'll hear his take before we wrap it up tonight. But I mean,
I thought this thing was over. That you go.
Oh, so all right.
Those last 3 seconds.
Oh God, Josue is over 100 times. Let's get into some stuff. It's not. Here's the thing: momentum is one thing, but does it really matter? I have no idea. I feel like the Celtics are going to play a better game, but I don't think they're going to win just because of momentum. I think that this was their really bad shooting game, and they were able to squeak out that win, and they're going to come out and they're just going to hit more shots at home, and Miami's not going to be able to keep up, and Talent's going to win out. But there is things to like about tonight, some pretty gross stuff as well, which you can't really repeat, because if Miami does come out and plays a really solid game, they obviously can and have beaten you at home twice already. So of all the things you saw tonight, what are the things that might concern you most heading into a Game 7?
Caleb Martin. He looks incredibly comfortable. Not only is he scoring the rock, but he's crashing the boards. I mean, I think he had like 15 rebounds tonight.
Double.
Whenever you have a playoff series, there's usually that one wild card / X factor that plays way above their heads who makes a difference. And to me, he's one of those guys that I worry about in a Game 7, because he's been comfortable coming off the bench, starting, doesn't matter. He's been that good.
Yeah, same. And you know what? I'll also throw in I'll also say Gabe Vincent. Like, obviously I know the guy isn't 100%, but man, if you don't, keep him in mind, he can go off. He can get those open threes. He can push the floor. I mean, he can push the ball. He can, he's a playmaker. He's a defender. He can make big stops as well. So I think that's a guy who, with a Game 7 here, season on the line, you're gonna get a really good performance out of him. But you wonder how they're going to look from behind the arc, right? Like, can they do this again? Because this was a heck of a shooting night for the Miami Heat, right? And that's something that I feel like it's a big advantage against the Celtics on the road, especially because that's when the defense really starts to get shaky, when guys are making shots. And you kind of saw an example of that here in Game 6. But I just feel like those are the type of things that could really keep the Heat in it. But for the most part, like I said at the top of the show, I just think that the pressure and the momentum. The pressure is heavily on the Miami Heat to close this out, and the momentum is favored for the Celtics to close this thing out, and especially for guys like Tatum and Brown to have not only just big performances, but as a cohesive unit. These two can really put together that type of closeout game where they're just going off and they're each taking their turns or whatever, while also playing lockdown defense that we saw in Game 5. I think the Miami Heat are in trouble for sure, especially if they start off that way. If the Celtics get out to a double-digit lead, I think that's going to be a huge advantage for the Celtics, even if it happens in the first quarter like it did in Game 5.
Yeah, one of the things, go ahead, Jimmy, go ahead.
You weren't even gonna let me.
No, I was. I wanted to set up. I was gonna Marcus.
All right,
I was gonna get some Marcus sound in there, but go
ahead.
Do
it. I'd rather hear Marcus.
Well, I was gonna say the Celtics shot 20% from three, as bad as it gets.
Yeah, that was the worst.
Marcus was one of the few guys who was knocking anything down. He ended up jacking up 11. He started 4 of 6. He missed his last 5.
Yeah.
And so
he took some bad ones.
And he took some bad ones. So, but when Marcus did that is when he sees other people going, not holding up their end, he kind of overcompensates a little. Sometimes it works. It didn't here. He was actually giving it to him early, but down the stretch, not so great.
Early, yeah.
Obviously, that last one almost went down, and here is Marcus kind of talking about, I think, what went down here at the end of the game. And Jimmy, we'll get back to your concerns after this.
I just wanted to give our team and myself enough time to be able to give us a chance to hopefully get a second chance if we missed. Learned that from the Philly series. We didn't get a shot.
Oh, look at that!
There we go.
They did a good job of taking away JT, and Derek and me and everybody else did a good job of just reacting and going to make a play.
What's that say about Derek to know from inbounding to crashing on that?
Listen, I'll tell you one thing, man. If you don't know who D. White is, you know who he is now. I mean, that dude has been phenomenal for us this whole
phenomenal.
Just playing the way that we need to play.
Shout out, Bobby.
It's been refreshing for us, and it's been a joy to watch and a joy to be on the court with him.
So interesting, because he mentioned that Philly game where they didn't get the shot off. It took them forever. That's when Jalen switched off of Harden inexplicably. Joe doesn't call. Harden hits a 3 when they were down 2, which was again just unbelievably bad play there. And they don't call a timeout. Joe gets skewered for that. Celtics walk it up. get into their sets late. Tatum runs around in a circle, gets it out to Marcus late. There was no opportunity, not even to get the shot off. But when you're down, you want second chance attempts. With 3 seconds left on the clock, there's not a lot of chance for second chance attempts.
Right.
It had to go that fast. And he's saying that was on his mind, and that is why he shot that quickly. And if that's the case, and if that came from Joe, which is we get that shot up and crash, then great. Because, I mean, that's what happened.
That's what you're supposed. I mean, that's
definitely what they drew up. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jimmy. Jump in, Jimmy.
No, I mean, if that's it, then that's it. But that's what we're going to hear, regardless of whether or not that was the play or that's what it was supposed to be. I mean, we already mentioned the fact that D. White was open right off the inbounds because nobody was covering the inbounder. So you would think that they would have acknowledged, okay, well, if no one's on D. White, on the inbounds, and whoever gets it can theoretically give it back to him. But it worked out. There's no reason to harp on it. Again, Smart shot almost went down. Going back to what you guys talked about before, what scares you or worries you? I'll go back to the same thing that's worried me the whole time. It's not the Heat, it's the Celtics. They're the only ones that scare me here. And Jaylen Brown said it a couple of games ago. He said, the only people that are going to beat us are ourselves. And he's right. I mean, if these guys play hard on the defensive end, if they come out and they hit some shots that, again, they missed a few too many shots for my liking tonight from the outside. That is not typical. So, well, I shouldn't say it's not typical, but it's not typical that they win when they do. So what scares me is them getting out of, their shooting rhythm and not playing hard on defense. If they do those things, then I'm with John. I think they should run the Heat out of the building.
How many Celtics hit threes tonight? Pop quiz.
2.
How many
That's correct.
Celtics hit 3? 2?
Only 2 Celtics players hit a 3 tonight. Marcus Smart and Derek White.
Wow.
The guys who delivered the deuce that gets you to win.
Incredible, right?
So
that would be a great stat. How many games have they had this year where Marcus Smart and Derek White were the only ones that?
Oh, 0. There's no way. There's no way.
Yeah.
It's a weird
Tatum
game. It really was.
Tatum was 0 for 8. Wow, I didn't know it was 8. I figured it was like 5.
I think,
And it's an annoying game for Tatum. These ones are weird for Tatum, right? Because everything was great going to the basket. He got to the free throw line 9 times, like in the first quarter, 15 on the game. He's 15 for 15 from the free throw line. He's able to get to the basket, but he's got to mix in some threes. It's just not going down. So you kind of get stuck there. And then you see that happen sometimes. I would bet if you went back and looked at some of Tatum's like second half disappearances, you'd see he was getting stuff at the rim or at the basket in the first half, and then he tried to mix in some threes and couldn't get him to go down in the second half and just stayed cold. Because it is one of those weird games where, the offer from behind the arc, it's just, again, when you have those guys not able to do any of that, it's just normally you don't win those. There's so many box scores you can look at both ways and say, when you do this, normally you don't win. Like you could have said with Butler's line, what's that?
I didn't do that. I didn't do
Is that a bucket hat?
Does it look like a black screen to you guys?
It's a black screen.
Yeah.
It's a black screen.
Is it Bobby trying to come in?
Yeah, but I could see him in the waiting room, but the screen is black.
Huh.
That's weird.
Wait, Robin, I missed your super chat. Robin, is this the one where you're going to do 100 of them?
Yeah.
Yo, Robin,
Wait,
good looks.
Robin is a dude, by the way. Let's make sure we remember that.
No, you make him pay for that.
Oh, right. Is he? I forget.
You make him pay to remind you.
Yeah, now I forget.
Yeah,
$20. He or she has not forgiven Bobby.
I'm a dude.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Bobby was like, "Thanks, girl." What do you say?
No, that was my fault, actually.
That was Jimmy.
Shocking.
Did you make some kind of dating joke? That sounds like something Jimmy would do.
No, he just messed up. Bobby's
Tatum has a correction for us, too. Really. We got that one on there, but...
Yeah, he was 15 for 15. That's
no, I meant 11-11 from the first half. But yeah, he finished 15 for 15.
You go.
Oh, did the graphics say 11? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like this comment.
Hey, a tan sound to come in. Look at Bobby.
Where did we go here?
Bobby.
What's going on?
Bucket hat Bobby.
Woo. That was special. I don't know what to say about that one. What a fluky play to save who knows how many people on this roster. Like, they were on the verge of an absolute meltdown, and not many people asked about the collapse for obvious reasons. But this was Game 7 last year. Down the stretch, 15-4 run, 0 for 6. Joe even said 6 bricks, and he liked the shots. But again, they slow down. Butler kills them the other way. They kind of self-destruct offensively, and they blow a 10-point lead in a couple minutes late there.
I just put that one up, Jimmy.
Oh, my bad. Did you put this one up?
Yep.
Keep going,
Sorry.
Bobby.
This is sort of what I talked about, John.
He's paying attention to neither the chat.
Did you
nor
put this
what's
one
being
up?
said.
Yeah, right.
Like what?
What do you pay?
No, it's because I was
What are
listening
you
to
paying
Bobby.
attention to?
I was listening to Bobby. He just said how Derek White's shot saved a bunch of people on the roster.
He's got. They don't
saved this whole
They
thing.
don't celebrate Memorial Day at homeschool, and he's got a paper due. So.
Yes, we do. We're big Memorial Day celebrators.
But yeah, Bobby, we spent the first 30 minutes kind of like, oh my god. But you're right. Like, it's impossible to talk about this and not talk about that they did it again.
Shifting moment. Yeah.
They missed, and not only did they blow the lead, the Heat had 2 wide open Duncan Robinson threes.
Oh man.
And you know, to have iced it earlier, and I mean, extremely lucky those don't go down. For the Celtics.
The first one was to tie, second one was to go ahead, and
oh my goodness, one was at 197, and they missed that, and then he missed another one to go ahead. So I mean, my goodness, that could have been even worse. You know, they could have lost this game by like 8 points. You know, like it's I don't even know how this went down.
Poor Joe. I think everyone thought in the moment when he challenged that's why they got 3 free throws. But I guess they would have overturned it either way. But in that moment, you're like, oh, is this how Joe's about to go down, challenging and giving the Heat an extra free throw for the win?
Yes, it was a successful challenge. It was not a 2. Like, no, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I meant. Oh shit! Oh crap! No, wait.
Everyone's like, great call.
That would have been quite an end for Joe. But I like the last play, and Jason was just talking about that. It's a read. They finally made a read instead of just throwing the ball in the Tatum and having him launch something. Smart ended up launching something, but the other 2 guys weren't open. Yeah. The other 2 guys weren't open. I was talking to a couple of Marcus's friends, and they were like, you guys, I know exactly what you would have said when you threw that up. Why is Smart shooting that? But it ends up dropping perfectly. Nice soft offensive rebound for Derek to put up perfectly. The one thing you can say about the challenge, though, is that it had a little bit of time. I don't know. You'll have to look back, but would they have had enough time to put that back in if they didn't add the couple seconds there?
No.
Yeah, because it was like 2.5 or 2.3, something like that before they
went up to like 3.1. So I guess he got that out of the challenge. And again, maybe they end up doing that either way. It was just tough to watch those last few minutes and think about where this was about to go. And you just, by a miracle, that's exactly what I called it in a moment. It was an absolute miracle. One of those moments you're just going to look back on and be like, how'd that happen?
Yep.
You know, you can come up with every comparison you want.
Here's Jason Tatum talking about how that happened.
Ooh-wee.
Oh my God, that was incredible.
That was the first 30 minutes of the show right there.
Man, we drew up a play. They kind of took the way that I was trying to get the ball. Jimmy and Strus jumped out to me. Smart came in and shot it, and we just crashed the glass. And everything was like a blur after that. D. White tipped it in, but that felt like the longest 10 seconds ever waiting for confirmation if he made it or not. I'm still like in disbelief.
Clearly.
That's John. That was John for 30 minutes.
But I'm glad we got another chance, another opportunity. It's far from over. It's still an uphill battle, but I feel good to give yourself another chance, another opportunity.
No joke. Literally how it's literally how I spent the first 30 minutes of the show.
That's how the locker room was too. And Marcus
It's
was in there.
impossible not to. It was like,
Marcus was in there saying, "One more, one more. You gotta get one more. We can't even think about this anymore. You gotta just get back to Boston and win that game, and it's gonna be a atmosphere probably like we've never seen there. And we've watched finals there and all of that, but this is so special what they're on the verge of doing here. And this is what we talked about a couple shows ago, John. We were previewing Game 5. This is just quintessential proof, and I think we might already have it at this point, that for all their flaws, for everything that drives us crazy, the immaturity, whatever you want to say about this group, they're just so good. It's gonna break their way with crazy stuff like this. Like, they're gonna be in the mix year in and year out with this group. You just gotta roll with it and rip your hair out when they blow it like this, but love them when they break through. And again, did they do a ton to break through in this moment? They tossed up a shot and it just landed in a guy's hands and he put it back up and in time. So they actually have to seal the deal here with a great game in Game 7. I don't think you get lucky twice. But man, what a gift.
I don't think you shoot 20 from 3 twice either, but
frankly, you got a lot of gifts here in this one too. Beyond that, the 4-point play from Bam where he grabbed the rim or whatever he did there was crazy.
Celtics got away with about 3 offensive fouls that Spoelstra didn't have a challenge for as well.
Bad challenge from Spoelstra early, trying to get a 4th.
I thought it was good to get the 4th on Brown, but when it was called no foul on either and all he got was the bucket's good and no foul, that was a pointless challenge. If he got 4 on Brown, it would have been worthwhile.
Yeah. Wow, it's just a game that leaves you speechless. It really is. And me and Sherrod were sitting up there. I lost track of the math, so I'm wondering, does it even matter? You put it up back up and in because they changed the free throws and all that. So I'm just sitting there so confused. And I'm thinking they're running over the table to complain. You know how this group is. But they were running over there to celebrate White putting it back in. And who better? I think it is fitting it's White. This guy came in a year and a half ago now, and just changed this group. He changed the dynamic. It was a perfect trade. I was doing backflips right away, John, when we went live that day. I love this guy. I have a lot of favorite Celtics on this team, a lot of guys I really love. That guy's right up there.
Yeah, I want to adopt him. Love him.
Incredible.
Love the guy.
He's been a big part of this comeback too, the shooting and everything else, the defense.
So let's throw a couple things out there because Jimmy was talking about it to begin with. What worries you going into 7, if anything? Because again, I believe the Celtics are going to come and play a lot better game. But Jimmy, you were in on that before we started. Before we jumped to a couple of post-game sound bites. What's on your mind heading into 7?
Oh, I got it in. I said it. The Celtics are my biggest concern going into
the
7.
Celtics versus the Celtics. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, it's the same story with these guys. You still don't know exactly which team's going to show up. You don't know if they're going to falter down the stretch. They did tonight, by the way.
Jimmy, you must have been dying watching that the last 4 minutes.
I was sitting by myself, alone in just solitude, screaming at the TV. I'm sure a lot of people were tonight.
It was so bad.
It was just like all of your nightmares coming true about this team, in a 4-minute stretch. And again, it was really, really bad Celtics basketball down the stretch. They got bailed out on a miracle play that, as John mentioned, will go down in the history books as a top play in Boston sports moments. And depending on how the season ends up, we'll see where it finishes. But other than that, I mean, Bobby, like you said, Derek White saved some roster spots and some jobs tonight. So the Celtics
Joe should go hug him.
I'm sure he did. The Celtics still scare me. Do I still have the Celtics winning Game 7? Yes, I do. Because it would be I want to say it'd be unbelievable, but it wouldn't be because it's this Celtics team.
Yeah, it's Celtics versus Celtics, and FanDuel has it as a pick'em.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah, they'll still somehow lose.
I
but
do
that's
want
what
to
scares
see
me.
the line.
I want the Celtics. Obviously, the outside shooting needs to improve, but for me, it's just playing hard on both sides of the basketball, playing hard on defense and not turning the ball over late in games. 2 things that they didn't play hard enough on defense, and they turned the ball over tonight. So they have to switch a lot of things in order to win Game 7. The Heat
for Game
completely
7.
blew it tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, -8. Yeah, they think they were what? They were right around that for Game 5, so that's not a huge surprise.
Yeah, it's not crazy. Let's quickly tell you guys before we move along and get everybody else's kind of Game 7 fears out of the way. Check out Athletic Greens if you're looking for a one-stop shopping daily supplement that will take care of all of your health needs. Go to athleticgreens.com/garden and friggin' purchase that right there. You get the gift, 5 free travel packs and lifetime supply. I would say lifetime year-long supply, a lifetime supply of rice-a-roni, a year supply of vitamin D. Okay, a year supply of vitamin D. So check that out if you want.
I got my travel packs.
Immune system, immune system, gut health, mental clarity, focus. Recovery, all sorts of different things.
Your greens, you got to get your veggies, man.
Get the greens. You got to have something green in your diet every day. You'll also get a T-shirt out of the deal if you go and sign up now.
These are vintage. These are going to be, this is year 1 T-shirts.
Wear them to the finals, guys. Book your tickets to Denver. We're going. Okay,
going to Denver.
It's a done deal.
I think Smart said White was phenomenal.
Submit my name for the Denver press pass.
I don't jinx things.
No, I don't either.
Jimmy, you gonna go?
You guys hear that? I'm knocking on wood. Am I gonna go, Bobby? I have a feeling I will not be allowed to go to that.
I do not jinx things. Anyway, I'm gonna throw one thing out there. The Brogdon thing kind of throws that whole bench thing into like a bit of a mess. When you get a 0 game from Grant like you got tonight, and it was a 0 game from Grant tonight.
And at one point, come on,
felt like Sub-Zero.
It was it was brutal. It was just not a good Grant game. It just didn't
This was like a college game. 5 guys on both sides and go.
Yeah, it wasn't great. So they just had to do it. I thought Rob made impact when he was in there for sure. But I mean, they put in what did we say about trying to get Hauser some minutes? Put him in that second quarter for those non-Jimmy minutes. But that's all. 2 minutes and done. That's all they could do.
I think that's when Jimmy Butler checked back in.
Exactly, and then it's like, get him out of there.
Yeah. Oh shit. All right, get back.
It's almost like when there's like when like the president's somewhere and there's like a loud noise and all the Secret Service like escorts him out and down into the tunnel. That's what they did with Hauser as soon as Jimmy checked in the game. Like, up, get him out of here, get him out of here.
They were really scared of that matchup.
They were so. Oh, we gotta go.
He didn't think about it. He didn't think about it for the rest of the game.
There's an assistant coach on the Celtics that's their only job is to make sure that if Hauser's going to be in the game, Jimmy Butler is not in the building.
Jimmy's coming in. Clear the perimeter.
Go to the score table.
We need backup.
Sherrod, how are you feeling about Game 7?
Good. Yeah. I mean, I think it'll be a double-digit win. I think they will absolutely cover. I feel good about it. I just don't think Miami's going to be able to recover from this.
It scares me that we all feel good about it. It scares me.
Do you guys see Spo?
We saw a little clip.
Yeah.
He was a little.
He looked a little rattled.
Yeah, he was rattled. That's a great way to put it. He was rattled. He wants to play right now, Bobby. He wants to tie the sneakers back up and get out there for another game. He said.
Which none of us believe that.
No, of course not.
Yeah. He didn't even sound convincing as he was saying it.
They bailed the Celtics out too. I mean, the third was a mess for the Celtics. Turnovers flying everywhere, empty possessions, and this Heat team again. I just can't believe in them. The personnel, the whole thing. I don't get it. I can't believe in it. I don't know how they're here. They go in the third quarter while the Celtics are just gifting them possessions and turnovers and everything. They shoot 19%. I turned to Sherrod and showed him
the third quarter was incredible.
Yeah. Bam could not hit a shot to save his life tonight.
The third quarter was incredible. Like at any point in time, you're like, does any run here could win this?
That's what I thought for sure.
They had a door to really take control of this game there, and they somehow played way worse than the Celtics in that third. Because the Celtics, I think their rock bottom was in the third, or maybe that closing stretch. But as a whole, the third, they go 42%, only hit 1 or 2 threes there. The Heat go 5 for 27.
Yeah, I mean, it was rough sailing in general. I mean, Celtics went after that 34-point first quarter. They played really well in that first quarter. 23, 22, 25, rest of the way. That's a losing formula. That kind of, again, if you stack up the amount of games where the Celtics scored this few points, shot this poorly for 3, and looked up how many wins, I'm guessing it would be 0.
I doubt they had one. Yeah.
I honestly don't, we haven't done the research. I get if they did 1 or 2, I'm guessing it's 0. Where if it scored this few shots, I mean, this is their worst 3-point shooting, but I mean, they do not win games like this. So yeah, amazing to sneak it out. But yeah, you can't play this ugly and win another one for sure. So the shots have to fall.
The offensive rebound.
Somebody tell Ryan, it's not over yet.
I mean, they didn't just get one big offensive rebound at the end. They were doing it throughout. Jalen was great there. Al, as always. I think he had a big kick out at one point for a 3. And Rob's always competitive there. Tatum on the glass has been super strong late in the series. They've gone back to being a great rebounding team, even without playing double big. But super thin margins here. I can't. Are they really going to blow them out in games? That's how this is going to end? Easy? I don't think anything's going to be easy about Monday.
It's a blowout.
These guys are like zombies, John. They're just going to get up from this and come back out there, and Jimmy's going to be drawing fouls, and Caleb Martin's going to be 6 for 6 again. And they just keep doing it. Duncan Robinson's driving by Tatum still.
The Heat blew it tonight, Bobby. This was their series clinching game tonight, and they blew it.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're going to win, but get blown out? I guess they got blown out in Game 5. Yeah. So.
If the Celtics can build up a double, even if it's a
low
double-digit lead into the second, they get it to 15, it's over.
Yeah.
You think the Red Sox are going to be there, John?
I don't care.
Schilling shows up in the bloody sock.
Yeah.
I'm hearing Johnny Damon was at the game.
I saw a picture of Johnny Damon.
Yeah,
that wouldn't surprise me.
Which makes sense because he lives in Florida. Maybe
he's an Orlando guy, I think, or something.
Yeah, he's a Florida guy now.
Yeah. I think that was the last DUI he got.
Florida man.
Florida man, yeah.
Florida man seeing it game. I don't know. I mean, I don't think it resonates with these guys in any way. I think it's great for like Butch and Duke and Dan and like all the and like the old guys like. Old guys
but it's
like
so
me,
over.
The crowd digs it. You know what? You're right, Bobby. The crowd would flip the F out if David Ortiz was like fan banner captain, if that was a thing.
Yeah.
I think it's worth mentioning because of Joe Mazzulla. He grew up in this area. He obviously is old enough so he remembers that. But it's one of those things where you just bring it up once and then that's it. Like it's a little overdone right
If they showed up though, I think that'd fire the crowd up a ton.
That would be awesome.
So
but no, my point is like the whole
some invites would be great.
Oh, you guys are doing it like with the 04 team. I'm just like
at 03, I didn't like it, Josue.
Wick's about to shell $300 million over to Jalen. He's not paying to fly these guys. There's no friggin' way they're extending that kind of
right. Like the whole like, oh, you guys go give.
Wick's like, I'll give you a ticket. I am not paying to get you.
But the whole like talk about, oh, are you guys gonna give him a speech or are you gonna call Ortiz? I'm just like.
No, I didn't like that, especially at 03. But now, I mean, you're on the verge of doing what they did. I mean, this is like one of those. I hate to do it, John. I hate the comparison. I hated all that, but
you're going to do it anyway.
This finish tonight was like one of the finishes to the Red Sox games, where it's just like, what is going on?
Yeah,
it was a walk-off. It was a rare walk-off.
Everybody flew over to White, and they just swarmed the table. Blake lost his mind on the sideline.
Bobby, any Jeter or A-Rod sightings tonight in the game?
That was unbelievable that they had those guys at the game. Up for go.
Kick them out. Yeah.
Just keep that conversation going.
Bobby,
one other thing I want to bring up tonight is Jalen. He's just got to be better. It's a big thing for Game 7. He killed them tonight.
It's such a strange line because you look at the shooting
and you're like,
wow.
plus minus too.
You know, he led in plus minus, and he shot well. But man, defensively, he was just freestyling, freelancing, giving up screens, just turning around, his back to the action, floating after he switched onto no one. Shooters were open, all night.
So he did say around half.
And then every time he dribbled to his left, he turned it over, like almost every time. Silly fouls, the trip foul and the kick foul for the fourth foul. Just his head wasn't in the game, but he was doing a lot of good things. He just needs a more focused effort.
The start was phenomenal.
He just needs a focused effort. He was a bucket machine, which is great, but the rest of the stuff wasn't focused. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he kills you with the foul in there. Luckily, they survived that stretch. I think they went 10-10 there with the Heat while he sat with the 4 fouls.
Yeah.
But
the numbers at the end of the day, will look like, a pretty good game, but he was rough. He's got to lock it in a little bit because they need,
the defense, especially on Vincent. How many times was Vincent open? And he was great in his return. That's a real factor now.
Truth is, he shot poorly. He shot 6 of 18, I think, Vincent.
Yeah, but he's way better than Lowry. Lowry can't even play. I mean, you just can't play that guy anymore.
He's rough too. So, so we've got hold on, I got to do one more thing before we boogie.
He's trying to do it. He's boomering.
Huh?
You.
I'm boomering. I'm boomering so hard right now.
Jimmy, you think that? So obviously, the Heat aren't going to care about the crowd and the atmosphere and this and that.
No, they're just going to come out and play mediocre basketball, and the Celtics just have to play well, and then that's that.
Well, so the other question is, Jimmy.
Yeah, John, this is a question for me.
Is this moment going to be a little overwhelming for the Celtics?
I'll handle that, Bobby.
What they're about to do.
So glad you asked, Bobby. I don't think so. Honestly, don't think so. This isn't the first Game 7 these guys have played. They've taken care of business in other Game 7s, and they know what's at stake.
This is a big one, though, Jimmy. This place
but they can't think of it like that. They have to treat it like they've been treating this series. It's just one game. Don't think of it as 0-3. Don't think of it as a bigger Game 7 as the other ones. Like, you just have to go out there and win the game. Like John said,
is this enough
they're
for
much
Jersey?
more talented team. They go out there and play their game, they'll win the game. If they don't, they give the Heat opportunities to claw back because the Heat will take those opportunities. They're not going to the Heat. I say Heat aren't going to beat themselves. In a way, they kind of did tonight, but they missed a couple open shots that could have changed the game. But they did take advantage of Celtics mistakes, Celtics turnovers, poor shot selection down the stretch. And I mean, if that game was an extra minute longer, the Celtics were trending in the wrong direction. Let's put it that way.
Whew. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. What are you thinking, Josue?
I just think the Celtics, if they can get out to, I said this before you hopped on, but they can get to a double-digit lead. I just think it's going to be tough for the Heat to come back from that, and not just because of the fact that it'll be an uphill battle, but because of the Celtics. They sense when a team is down on themselves. You know what I mean? So they'll double down defensively. They'll very similar to what we saw in Game 5. Like, I'm not saying the makeup will be that dramatic, especially in that first quarter, the way they got out to that 20-point lead before the second quarter. But I think something to that effect, whether it's a double-digit lead or just a humongous run that creates that double-digit advantage that the Celtics defense is going to have to just take care of, I think they will. They will be able to because of the crowd. And like you said, Bobby, I agree with that. I don't think that's going to bother the Miami Heat, but it's going to motivate the Celtics. I mean, Game 7, place is going to be insane. Holiday, people will be drinking by like noon. It's going to be
lubed up.
It's going to be one of those, exactly. It's going to be one of those nights where you give these guys something to cheer for, and they'll be like that the entire way. And the Celtics are going to be in the headspace of,
place to be filled up early. People won't be trying to rush over from work,
Right. And the Celtics going to have that headspace where it's like, let's pretend this is the fourth quarter to start. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you have to approach this. And I think the Celtics will do that. And I think, again, they'll build that lead, and their defense will close things out, in my opinion. Like, that's going to be what's going to be the difference in the second half.
I think it's the lube.
Yeah, I do too.
I think the lube's going to be the difference, guys.
Get all lubed up.
For the crowd, it will be. For the crowd, I guess.
Oh gosh.
Sherrod's like, yo, what is up with these guys?
What the hell?
Sherrod's like, I gotta catch a flight.
What the hell? We spent
Uh,
way more time talking about lube than we should. Just saying. Just gonna throw that out.
That's
there.
gonna be a
the lube.
special.
That's an
It's gonna
all
be a
time.
special crowd.
That word's been said like 10 times in the show.
Oh, hell
Wait a
yeah.
second.
Hell
Kablamo!
Oh, that's enough for a jersey.
If we didn't sit here talking about lube for a few more minutes, this one wouldn't have come in.
Yeah, right?
Thank you. Appreciate
$50
you.
worth of lube right there.
This guy's a big fan of lube.
That'll get Josue through what? A couple days, Josue?
Oh boy, he had to go there with you, Josue. Did he? Did he really
What?
have to go there?
What?
I don't
He's
even.
a big drinker.
It was funny when I was doing it.
It was.
He's a big drinker.
The correlation of what we were saying earlier, I don't know.
Too far.
You know, Jalen's been right. It's been a shaky crowd throughout the playoffs. Game 5 was great, John.
No.
You were obviously there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a madhouse on Monday.
It's the whole good
Bobby, you wearing
basketball gets good crowds. Like, you can't go out and play like ass and be like, the crowd wasn't behind us. Like, you got to throw them a bone a little bit. Like,
Right.
you know,
Give them something to cheer about.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going to be, listen, there's not going to be any questioning the crowd bringing it on Monday. It's just going to be whether or not the Celtics bring it, and that's it.
Yeah.
They just have
Right,
to,
but you know what I mean,
have
though.
to play their game.
Like that first quarter, like what we saw in Game 5, like, man, the place was rocking, and they respond to that. It's like they
it goes both ways.
Right. It does.
It does. It can get to you. So we'll see if it does or it doesn't. Again, the Heat have won twice here, so
This is trip to the finals is on the line here, guys. Like these guys, they're
let's
gonna
go.
show.
Let's
They're
get it.
gonna show up. Players will show up.
Yeah. So thank you. We do want to say a couple of thanks throughout. Thank you to everyone who watches us on a nightly basis. Again, we've been hoping to be able to continue this, which is great.
Seriously.
You know, and as we get deeper, the numbers grow. So it's great to see so many of you here. For those new to the thing, and new to the Garden Report experience, we do it every single night after every single game, and we've been doing it now for the past 4 years. This includes preseason games and certainly throughout the postseason with these fine fellows that you see here. We've had this unit together the whole time, so it's great. You can catch a lot more of our stuff on our Celtics YouTube channel. If you want to head over there and subscribe, Celtics All Access. You can also check out the audio version of this podcast right here by scanning that little code or just going and checking out Garden Report wherever you get your podcast, Apple or Spotify. We do want to say thank you to all the super chatters out there. We do appreciate you guys sending in the dough. It's your hard-earned money. We do appreciate it. We do this show for free, but we certainly appreciate the contributions, and everything here is dispersed to the hosts. So we do appreciate that. Shout out again to FanDuel, fanduel.com/Boston. Head over to there, sign up, take advantage of a no sweat first bet when you sign up today. Once again, fanduel.com/Boston. Check out Athletic Greens, athleticgreens.com/garden. Get 5 free travel packs and a year-long supply of vitamin
Lifetime.
D. Supplement for lifetime supply. And hold on, I'm almost done with my promos. And anybody
drum roll, please,
who wants to get it rolling, we've got a Game 6 Celtics late night postgame show coming up. So if you guys are still jacked and pumped and want to, I mean, these guys have had enough time.
Weekend edition.
These guys from the First to the Floor podcast, also on the CLNS Media Network, have had enough time to process, so they won't waste the first 30 minutes like Jimmy and I did, just being like, man, wow, dude, what did we see here? Oh my God, wow. Oh, we were like stoned.
I'm just trying to figure it out.
Wow. Have you ever really looked at the stars? That was the whole first 30 minutes. I mean, really looked at them, man.
It's accurate.
That's all we did.
We lost some brain cells during that 30 minutes for sure.
It was so dumb. So these guys will probably bring some smarter stuff. They've had time to think about it. So go check them out.
The basket.
Oh, Derek White.
Derek White did it. He did the thing.
He did it.
And the sound went off. And then
got it off in time.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
That was 30. That was if you came late, you can just fast forward 30 minutes of the show.
30 plus minutes. 30 minutes ish.
Thank you, Robin. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Robin.
That's Mr. Robin to you.
Yeah.
Thank you all again. We are going to wrap it up. Go check these guys out. We lost Bobby. Bobby's back. Bobby, what is it? Last thing I'll ask you, what is it that makes you dress like Hunter Thompson when you go to Miami and like normal everywhere else?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, you got to keep the sun off yourself somehow.
I bet you're indoors, man.
That's true.
That's also true.
You might lose it though.
Bobby walks around.
I sent you the play, John. I don't know if you want to. We got a great view of the play. If you want to play it a cap off,
nah,
I sent it to you.
No, I won't do it. I'm not going to put it on because I don't want to copyright on the last 10 seconds of our.
Bobby dresses like he's about to get into some possibly illegal stuff after the show. I'm going to say that.
No, lots of writing to do off this one. I got all day tomorrow though.
That's a good question. If the Celtics were to win, I think Game 7 still has a story to be written. I think you always go with Jason Tatum or the superstars like you would like a
No thought to White.
That's what he's saying here. That's what.
Yeah, I mean, if White, if he puts up a
with the Larry Bird award,
game,
that's right.
He could get it. It depends how he does in Game 7.
I did predict somewhere going into the playoffs.
After this, White is absolutely in play because this single play will transcend any sort of stats that anyone else can bring to the table.
But he's also Larry Bird the whole comeback.
You got to talk about Game 5 as well, though. Yeah, exactly.
And he was great in Game 5. This is a good question.
Can we get Larry Bird at the game?
You're coupling in Game 5.
No, it's gonna be Max. Why don't they just call it the Max Trophy? Max is gonna give it out whenever the Celtics win.
See what line he got this time.
The player that puts the team on their back.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I predicted. I don't know if it was in an article on a show or what, but I did predict White would win. I must have said Finals MVP. I don't think I predict the East Finals MVP, but
we'll give it to
show
you.
us the tape, Bobby. Show us the tape.
We'll give it to you anyways.
We'll find
it. I remember you. I remember you saying that about White. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, me too. Sure. All right, we're gonna wrap it.
I'm gonna plug my show. Seaport.
Maybe it was in private.
Oh yeah, guys. Jimmy's got a gig. Jimmy's got a gig.
Tomorrow or Sunday if you're watching this on Sunday. Cisco Seaport.
For anyone living in Boston.
Yeah, if you're stuck in the city on Memorial Day weekend, you want something to do, I'm playing at Cisco Seaport at 5:00 on Sunday. So come on through. 5 to 8:30 should be fun.
Jimmy, I got a shot. I got a shot at this tomorrow.
John's gonna be, and if you want to meet John and heckle John, he'll be there with T-shirts.
You want to take a swing at John? Head over to the Seaport.
Swing at John.
It's a line of people just ready to go.
It's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be fun. The place is cool. It's like a brewery. It's Cisco Brewery. So
it's cool.
And the music's gonna suck, but the beers will be good.
Nah, man, go check out Jimmy. These guys have seen him. I've been delinquent, but I also have multiple children that
Yeah. Sure.
Anyway, I'm putting in daddy duty. I'm putting in daddy duty during the day, so I might be able to sneak out at 5, Jimmy. I hope to see you there. Anybody else wants to go there? Come hang out. Let's talk some basketball. Watch Jimmy play. 5:00
Right.
Cisco Brewery. That should be fun.
Let's talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about Bobby and I. We might do a show tomorrow because there's enough juice. So keep an eye on all of our handles here. Follow us on Twitter. You see our handles up here on the screen, or you can follow the Celtics CLNS account. We'll let you know if we do that. We'll definitely do something preview related on Monday as well. Check out Malcolm Brogdon, see what's going on there. With his situation, and just kind of take the temperature of the teams as we head into a historic Game 7 between the Celtics and the Heat. Celtics pull off a freaking miracle. Oh, wow. Amazing.
Whoa.
They did
Double
it.
motorcycle.
104. A double rainbow. 104, 103. Over the Heat to force a Game 7, trying to become the first team in NBA history to come back from 3-0 down. They're going to do it. We'll be here back with you guys on Monday night for a post-game, Game 7, and hopefully a finals preview. Check out the Celtics Late Show for those of you looking for more basketball action. We will say goodnight.